Hi guys! So you'll notice that I'm not at my apartment right now. I am at my friend's house because there are these men cutting tile right outside my door. This is actually kind of a weird video to be doing not in my space because it's entirely about my space. Not my space, my house. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about my March resolutions today. Now, if you don't already know, at the beginning of the year I came up with resolutions that I had for this year, and what I'm doing differently about them this time that I have never done before is that I'm doing them one at a time instead of breaking or forming 10 habits all at the same time, which is impossible, and I can tell you from years of experience, it doesn't work like that. In January, I learned how to drive a manual transmission, and in February, I did a hike a week, and in March, I decided to clean for 20 minutes every day. And before I go on, let me just say that if you are the type of person that when I say that I clean for 20 minutes every day are like, okay, but I do that all the time, then this video is not for you. If you are the type of person that's like, what's the big deal? You're just cleaning your house. This video is not for you either. I have been a messy person for a really long time, and by really long time, I mean my entire life. The only time it was noticeable that I became messy was at the age of 11 when my parents stopped cleaning my room, and I was responsible for cleaning it, and I just didn't ever do it. Every year I have this goal that I want to be cleaner this year because I don't like having a messy room. The reason that it's hard for me to clean is because I absolutely despise it. There are very few things that I hate doing more than cleaning. I actually can't even think of a single one that I hate more than cleaning. Nope, cleaning. Cleaning's the worst. It feels weird to say that because I know that cleaning is not supposed to be enjoyable, and I think there's a lot of people who don't think that cleaning is enjoyable, but they're able to tolerate it and they're able to do it. But it's just something that I despise so much that if I clean, it physically drains me. I just get really grumpy and cranky and tired, and I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to do anything, I just want to be in bed and eat food. And everybody needs to go away. I think one of the reasons that it did that was because I cleaned for large chunks of time. I can remember back when I was in high school and I was talking to my friend on AIM, because that was still a thing back then. She would ask hey, you want to hang out? And I was like, sure, but I gotta clean my room first, otherwise my dad's not gonna drive me. She would check in with me 2 hours later, and I would still be cleaning my room. And she would say how long does it take you to clean your room? And it would take me upwards of 10 hours and I would barely make a dent. I value having a neat space that makes me feel calm, and I also value not cleaning. And I just needed to find a way that works for me, and I think I did this month. The reason that I picked 20 minutes is because the one resource that I found, which I will leave a link for below, it's a website called Unfuck Your Habitat, and it's a website that kind of helps you find solutions to be a tidier person if it's something that either you were never taught, explicitly taught how to do, or if it's just something that you think is hard. So they have resources for if you are depressed and you never feel like cleaning, if you're anxious about cleaning, if you're anxious about throwing things away, if you just don't know, you just don't know how to do the dishes because maybe your parents never taught you. It's a really good resource. They are huge proponents of these things called 2010s, which is 20 minutes of work time, then take a 10-minute break. Do 20 minutes of work, take a 10-minute break. Which is something that I started doing when I started reading this website, which was about 3 years ago. So I clean for 20 minutes every day. I don't do a 20-10 because I don't take the 10-minute break. I just clean for 20 minutes and I'm done. Everything might not be as clean as it could be, but for that day, I am finished. I am not cleaning anything else. So one of the first things that I did when I wanted to do this was I made myself a tiny little calendar. I decided that for every day that I actually do the 20 minutes, I would give myself a sticker. Did I do 20 minutes every day? Absolutely not. I missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I missed 7 days. But that's still 3 more weeks of cleaning than I would have done otherwise. So I just said 20 minutes on this, I set it on my table, and then I'm like, alright. The first week was the hardest because 20 minutes was not enough to tidy the place up. You know, in 20 minutes, maybe I did my dishes and that was it. And I'm like, well, I still haven't made my bed, I still haven't put my clothes away. and it was really uncomfortable like stepping away from that, especially because I knew I had more time, and if I wanted to clean for another 20 minutes I could, but I had to stop myself because I knew that if I cleaned for more than 20 minutes I'm gonna end up in a bad mood, and I don't want to do that to myself. But by the time I ended the first week of this, it just caught up so that 20 minutes actually was enough to put everything away that was out of place. So the second week, which I missed 2 days on, but everything was always put away by the end of the day. All the dishes were done, all the clothes were put away, the bed was made. If a room is like pristine, you're not gonna wanna mess it up. Which I noticed started happening. So like when I would change clothes, for instance, instead of throwing them on the floor, I would actually just put them away. And so by the third week, I noticed that because I really only needed 5 minutes to put things away, I used the other 15 minutes to do like my weekend cleaning, which is to vacuum my floors and dust and clean like the mirror and wipe down the kitchen counters and stuff. So much so that I actually just ended up splitting it into days. So on Monday I would clean my bathroom, and I really only needed 15 minutes to do that. On Tuesday I would clean my kitchen. On Wednesday I would mop and vacuum. I grew up in a house where my parents spend their weekends cooking and cleaning. That's just like what they do. I needed to find a way to still have like a tidy place and still take care of myself and feed myself without having to spend all the time that I saw my parents spending that goes into cooking and cleaning. And some other stuff that I learned about myself doing this is that I don't really like cleaning on Wednesdays. I think it's just because Wednesday nights is when I do all my ASU homework that's due on Thursday, and when I get sick I don't feel like cleaning. I was sick earlier this week and I didn't clean for those 3 days. And that's fine because my apartment looks great and it looks better than it ever has for this long in my entire life. So I do have another resolution that I'm going to be doing in April, but I'm also going to continue this one. So I have my little April calendar drawn, I have my stickers, and I'm going to do 20 minutes and I'm gonna see how that goes. I hope this video was useful for you. I know it was really rambly and just talking about a lot of stuff, but this is something that I've struggled with for a really long time, and I'm finally seeing progress, and it just takes doing a little bit, forcing yourself to stop at 20 minutes even though you know you can clean for longer, and just being okay that it's a slower process. You gotta slow down your pace, just do a little bit, and then you're gonna end up going further than somebody who is sprinting. So yeah, I hope this video was useful for you if this is something that you struggle with as well. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can find out anytime I upload a new video. Thank you for watching. Bye!